You maniacs! You blew it up! God damn you! God damn you all to the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Okay, sometimes you reach out for the hot tag and you go ahead and make your own comeback, knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling and you're better off rolling in thumbtacks AEW. The hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee and the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched to the ring apron and you realize all the trouble you're in because it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Hey, whoa, Nelly. What it is, Bob Squad? What's the skinny? What's the scuttlebutt? What's the deep dish? We got the, we're pulling a wool out from under your eyes, sweeping a carpet out from under your feet, whistling Dixie, waxing philosophical, rubbing elbows, greasing palms, moving, shaking, grooving, moving, saying stuff and doing things, saying stuff related to the things we're doing stuff in correlation with the things that we are saying. Rubbing salt in a wound, throwing gas on a fire, adding insult to injury, you wild animals, you rabid dogs, frothing at the mouth, chomping at the bit, drool dribbling down your chin, stacked on one another like hermit crabs, crawling out of a bucket. We're god damn champions. Alrighty. Good to check in with you, Bob Squad. I'm excited today. What are we talking about? What's causing all this, as they used to say back in the day? We are talking about the Great American Bash, oddly enough. And we opened the Great American Bash, not only with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, because we do, because historically, Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant is one of my favorite classic Great American Bash moments. Whatever. We open with a video package, and we hear the voice of the American Dream doth roll, the baby album. We get to hear Dusty Rhodes at the top, which is very nice to acknowledge him. And then we get a recap of the matches we are seeing tonight. Again, I love this. It's a video package, yes, and you know how I hate the excess packages on Raw, but these packages are much shorter. You only have to go through a minute. They just tell you why you should care about what's happening tonight. This is what we're doing today. Here's why you should care about it. And here we go. And the bell's ringing and the first match is starting. Because this is Hulu, they skipped a few entrances on this because this is like a special deal. I was mistaken. I thought there was going to be a title match between Karrion Kross and Gargano on this thing. And it was going to be more like a bigger takeover. It was really just a themed show. So I was wrong. They did a segment, but there was not a Gargano Karrion Kross NXT Heavyweight Men's Championship match, if you will. Remember that week where they called the NXT Women's Championship also just the NXT Championship? They stopped saying women's, and then they realized that's confusing. And by the way, I have no problem if they say Men's Championship. I don't really care, but I'm just saying don't give them both the exact same name. That will confuse us. I would not be offended. I don't care. They're not coming after me if they say Men's Championship. It is the Men's Championship, is it not? But it's not my problem. It's for everyone else to fight about. My problem, my solution, is to bring to you the intentionally worst wrestling podcast of all time, the hardest part of the ring. My name is Bob, and we are ready to go. The packages are over. We've seen enough of everyone's package. And we start off with the garbage disposal of the guy on the other side of the wall. Jesus Christ, that's loud. I hope you can't hear that. The tag team champion. Oh, maybe this is why I had trouble liking the show as much as I could have, because they broke my heart up top. Memorial Sloan Kettering, the Midget Street Crew, MSK wrestles Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, defending their NXT Men's Tag Team Championship. We don't call it? Okay, I don't care about this. We have this match. And we start off with 2 minutes of unrealistic flippity doodahs that MSK would never use to take down Ciampa and Thatcher. My real issue is just the unbelievability of MSK trying to make mean tough guy faces, and I'm 41. I move like a 58-year-old, and I think I could beat those guys up, and the Young Bucks too. I don't give a shit, because that's what they are. They're the NXT Young Bucks. Yeah, they're just not believable, and it's anytime that any offense on Ciampa and Thatcher, I'm just rolling my eyes. Like, I just don't believe any of this. Ciampa and Thatcher did get to work on him and give him some clubbing blows. I did notice that while the ropes were red, white, and blue, as they should be in the Great American Bash, it is weird seeing that classic look, because they kept that classic look up until like 97. I don't know what part. I think it was sometime in 97, maybe early 98, they went to the all red ropes for Raw, and the rest is history. But they had the WWE and not the NXT logo on the turnbuckles. Isn't that interesting? They did not want to give NXT. I don't know why. The reason for that was they didn't give NXT the credibility for being patriotic. They did not do that. I mean, it might just be a thing where it might be something really simple and stupid, and there's no conspiracy, Bob. There may just be the red, white, and blue ropes and other rings, skirts, and attire or whatever that were used in previous Great American Bash specials like this just happen to have WWE ropes with them. Because for the old school shows, they also have red, white, and blue ropes, so I don't know. Or maybe they just said, no, we want WWE to get the patriotic credit. I don't really know. But that was interesting. WWE turnbuckles on his NXT show. Leg slaps galore. The legs are slapping. Is somebody telling a funny joke? Because I can't stop the knee slapping. Oh my god, every god damn move that the MSK does. If my pauses were any more pregnant, my punchline's water would break. Hey, oh my god, they cannot. It's and it's obvious. It's a big wide slap. They just don't care. Nobody cares. They even did some DIY spots when Tommaso Ciampa used to team with Johnny Gargano way back when. Was this a Texas tomato match where they were just able to a tomato tag match where they were just able to run around and not make any tags? Because good God, this was all over the place. There were hardly any tags, and there's 2 face teams, so there's no real. I don't remember any significant hot tags or anything like this. A bunch of finishes and everybody's kicking out, and a cradle pins Tommaso Ciampa. Oh my god, I don't remember which one it was, but one of these idiots has a pinfall victory over Tommaso Ciampa. In my notes, I never write this in my notes. I actually wrote "fuck this match" on my notes. I mean, I knew MSK deep down. They're almost definitely winning this thing, and that's enough. If there was a way to tie up one guy and hit the other guy with like a big move and score that pin, I'd kind of grumble and be like, all right, fine. That's the only way I could see it. No, let's just roll them up. Because I don't think Nick Carter or Wes Lee, that's really his name. Wes Lee is his last name. Neither one of them look strong enough to roll up Ciampa and hold him down. Especially the Nick Carter guy has the douchiest, unrealistic faces. He is just, they are playing wrestler 100%. And I was not, I was getting over it. Like, I really hated MSK up top, and then I think I lightened up for a little while. Because once they won the titles, I kind of figured, oh, okay, let's relax. Now I'm mad at them again. I hate them again. So, what happens, happens. But the show keeps moving, which is good. They had the victory. They didn't even do a long handshake hug, or if they did, it didn't make Hulu. They just kind of went, all right then. That was that. Samoa Joe is in the ring, as is William Regal. We just keep moving on. And Johnny Gargano, good old Johnny Gargamel, is there talking to Samoa Joe and Regal. And he doesn't really say much. But Karrion Kross arrives to the ring with no Scarlet. And this troubled me. Because it's really no secret. Karrion Kross has wrestled on their show called Main Event without Scarlett, and it's got some people worried. I've saying from since the time Kross and Scarlett debuted, I was saying that yeah, they're going to be on Raw any day now. When Vince sees this act, and it puzzles me that Scarlett is not with him on those Main Event. Whether they're people call them tryouts, people call them dark matches, and I know what a dark match is just a thing on TV that's not being filmed. I know, but that doesn't really apply to today's model that much. So call it whatever you want. I I mean, 2 months ago, a month ago, I would have said, okay, well, Scarlett will be in playing a role, so she'll be out of nowhere throwing a fireball or doing some wacky thing to Gargamel, and it never happened. Instead, Cross and Gargano. Let me go back. Even more troubling, the announcers. I don't think they mentioned Scarlett. If they did, I missed it. I think the announcers just kind of pretended she never existed, which is really bad. That's worse than her just not being in a segment. Like, they just didn't make any mention of, like, we're just going to pretend she never existed. And if they do a bunch of video packages for this upcoming match, which we're setting up with this segment, then, and she's not into packages, that's terrible. It really isn't good. Because she makes my underwear move. Bob! Damn it. No, it's not. The act needs Scarlett. No offense to Cross. She's a valuable, valuable part. The song is worthless without Scarlett doing the thing. Anyway, Gargano and Cross are going back and forth, and Gargano, Cross says something about Gargano wearing his wife's jeans, and Gargano says, "Well, you don't worry about my wife's jeans. Worry about the fact you can't lace up my wife's boots," which I thought was amusing. And she wrestles in the next segment, if you will, or no, actually a little later on. So they set up this rematch, and of course, the special guest referee is Samoa Joe. Oh, very nice. I got no problem with that. Like I said, it's going to look ridiculous to have Gargano wrestling while Samoa Joe is wearing a referee shirt. And Cross said all the things. He mentioned the main roster, the WWF champion. Shit, Jesus, Bob, how old are you? The WWE championship, main eventing WrestleMania, etc. Probably just to kind of drive us a little bonkers. I'm guessing that's all that really was. I wouldn't read too much into that. But I did think it was interesting that Cross said, if you think you're going to beat me with all your cool technical moves, but in reality, what happens in life is I'm going to beat your ass. Gargamel is really the babyface here. They gave him new, somewhat cooler music and had him be a bit more of a smart ass, but smart enough not to go head to head with Cross. So that's interesting. And considering what happens 2 matches from now with the Way, who knows? I tweeted at Gargano and his wife, Candice LeRae, why don't they have a talk segment called The Way Station? Huh? Eh? Am I the only one? Do I gotta do everything? Who do I text about that? Okay. We have a package on LA Knight. Oh, yeah, that match is next week. Forgive me. Joe refereeing Gargamel and Karrion Kross is next Tuesday. And the leg slap contest with MSK and DIY spots. That match gets 64,111 stars. Do not question the system. Cameron Grimes and LA Knight wrestle for the $1 Million Championship. If Grimes does not win the championship, he has to be the butler of LA Knight. And yes, this has already been mentioned by several people. That's literally a Seinfeld episode. But whatever. Call me crazy? Go ahead. Okay. Was this match better than their ladder match? A month ago? Roughly a month ago? Because I like this better than a ladder match. It's not because I'm old and crotchety and I hate all the things with the ladders. A ladder match, to me, was the right stipulation for that situation. But it's still hard when the first time you see 2 guys wrestle, there's a gimmick they're wrestling with. I just didn't get a feel for them, and you can't really watch their first match being a ladder match and go, well, this is how good or bad their chemistry is. Well, no, it's their chemistry with a ladder is what we're looking at. Chemistry with each other was very good. It really looked like both guys are trying to win the thing, especially Cameron. He definitely went for more pinfalls and trying to win his championship. I don't want to be the guy's butler. And LA Knight's more or less on defensive. Great stuff on the outside of the ring, but the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. LA Knight DDTs Cameron Grimes on the $1 Million Championship, okay, and shoves the championship, the title, or whatever it is, underneath the ring apron so the referee can't see it, which is hilarious that it's legal. That means it's legal to DDT someone right on the outside of the ring on the floor, and it is, but not if there's an object in the way. What if the object is softer than the floor? Then shouldn't that be legal also? I don't know. Hold on, I gotta plug in my computer. I'm not gonna stop recording. You just stay there. You guys just chill out over there, right? Just gonna plug this in here so my computer doesn't go dead. Okay, so I'm just back here. There we go. So it was nice to see the heel try to hide something from the referee and get away with it, and then Cameron Grimes bravely beats the 10 count, barely but bravely beats the 10 count in, but he's so dazed and he falls prey to the finish of LA Knight 1-2-3. Match gets 77,931 stars. Again, don't ask me to justify it. It's too complex. And they moved on. And again, this is Hulu, so I think this match and the women's tag both had everyone in the ring at the start for the Hulu. So I don't know if that's how it aired on TV or not. Doesn't matter. We're reviewing the Hulu. And here we are with the women's tag team match. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are wrestling Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, who are the NXT Women's Tag Team champions. And this match was all right. It was built around. What was it built around? I think it was built around Indy and Candice wearing the same gear as the last show. They were doing their In Your House Razor and 1-2-3 Kid tribute or something. I guess they just didn't get enough mileage out of it. I don't know. But of course, Indy and Candice are one half of the faction The Way, led by Johnny Gargano. If you didn't know that. And this match was built around really the charging phone that we've seen. It's been up to whatever it was, 10%, 20, 30, whatever, for the last few weeks. And we see the phone charger symbol go from 99 to 100 after the lights go out. That was very Canadian of me. The lights go out. We made lots of progress. And it's Tegan Nox. And she's got a flannel around her waist, and she's rocking out to the new Nirvana album. And, yeah, I like Tegan Nox, but I didn't think that was the right personality for this type of debut or return. It could be either. It's very Jericho-esque from his famous countdown thing, which is alright. I keep forgetting it's been 20-something years. But, I mean, if you do it to death, you do it to death. I don't think it's been done to death, but whatever. They did the thing. She was charging up, so she's back. Her knee is 100%, even though she's got a big leg brace on. Like, okay. So she's back, and I guess Candice LeRae took her out. I didn't know. I don't remember that at all. I just remember she was injured. So they should really replay that at some point. Maybe on next week's show. Maybe tell us why Candice freaked out. I guess Candice was responsible for taking out Tegan Nox. I have no fucking idea. Yeah, but she did. And of course, distraction leads to, I think Zoe Stark pinned Indy. Oh yeah, Zoe hit Indy Hartwell with some kind of, it was like a go to sleep like CM Punk used to do, but she flips her opponent backwards and then does it for whatever reason. And I don't know why that would make the move change and all. Anyway, Zoe pins Indy and she overcompensates the leverage, and Indy's shoulder is clearly up. She basically pinned Indy on the back of her head, which is silly. But we have new women's tag team champions, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. How about that? That's odd. I didn't see that coming. Bit of a makeshift team. I guess they're all makeshift teams in a weird way. The Way is really the team. Until you see them together forever, like the Legion of Gimmicks 3000, I just can't see them apart now. The Legion of Gimmicks were not on the show. We have a title change. We needed at least one title change to justify the program. Okay. And our main event. So I started recording this episode for you guys, and I was a minute in, and I had to stop and just delete it because I realized I forgot to watch the main event. And I know I did that with the Raw ones. I was like halfway through, and I just went, "Oh shit!" But this was like I only saw the entrances, and I felt, well, that's really irresponsible, especially with a match like this. Um, Kyle O'Reilly, they show him backstage, and his music plays, and he comes out and enters. They did the exact same thing for Adam Cole. They come to blows after a break, so they wrestle around a little bit. Cole backs out of the ring, or he's knocked out of the ring. We go to break, come back. We're going to blows. Um, Great. Obviously, it's the two of them. It's a great back and forth match. This is the second case on this show. The other one being Grimes and Knight, where we're seeing a regular match after a big opening gimmick match. Because it was the WrestleMania weekend, whatever the hell that takeover was called. I don't know. Just takeover, I guess. Where they had that big falls count or whatever it was, no rule, unsanctioned, whatever the hell it was. Okay, so we knew this was going to be a great match, but it's like we saw. I don't know. It's like we saw the sizzle first and then the steak. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But no, I mean, it was still a very enjoyable match, obviously. It's the two of them. It was great back and forth. I think it hurts it for me a little bit when I'm watching on Hulu as opposed to a takeover. Because a takeover can be 2 hours and 20 minutes long or 3 hours long. You don't really know, so you don't know when a match is going to end. On Hulu, I know exactly, like, the finish must be coming soon because there's 2 minutes left in the entire program. So, and the problem was when you have wrestled, you do get a little bit of an extra feel for, well, the finish is going to be here. It's going to be there. The way somebody's selling for something, you kind of go, oh, that's it. This was odd because during the first break, the reason I mentioned the break, I don't usually mention them, is that during that break, that's when Adam Cole started working the leg of Kyle O'Reilly, which is very important. It was in it like they re-showed in like a picture-in-picture thing. So here's what's happening now, and here's what happened a minute ago during a commercial. And Adam Cole, he kicked Kyle's leg out from under his leg. All you mid-90s wrestling fans know what I'm talking about. And that played into the finish, so you had to show that. And that is also a definition of a high spot. Whether you believe it or not, it's not just all dives. It's what is the big part of the match that we need to see? What is the big move? Even if it's not a big move, what is the big important move that we need to see to understand the story of this match? And we needed to see Cole work on Kyle's left leg. They do a bunch of stuff. I know there was a figure 4 leg lock that Cole put on Kyle. And there were times at this where I'm loving the match and then the audience ruined it for me. And what I mean by that is that like fake NXT audience they have still just puts themselves over. Like, why can't they control that better? I know I've complained about this before. They're doing the Fight Forever chant, which like planted fans should know or be instructed not to chant because you're wanting the face to win, not the two guys to fight forever. It's not the end of the world. Like, I don't hate that This Is Awesome one that much. If it's overused, of course, we've all groaned and rolled our eyes. It wasn't that awesome. But at least they're enjoying it. It's a hell of a lot better than silence. At least they are chanting something that shows they're happy to be there and like what they're seeing. That is very good. I enjoy that. Of course, I did feel there was like a 2-year period of like, oh my god, every fucking thing. But more importantly, when you have a situation like Adam Cole has been working Kyle O'Reilly's leg. Kyle's in trouble. Adam Cole slaps on a figure 4. Now, if you throw a chop, put a figure 4 on in a match, the whole wrestling crowd is going to go woo. But really, the wrestling crowd should be concerned for Kyle's health at this point. So it shows they're not that worried for Kyle. So they're not going to be that heartbroken if he loses. They're not going to be that relieved if he wins. There's just not that much to celebrate. Because it just kind of shows them being a little too smart. Because if Kyle wins, they'll cheer. But they won't. They'll cheer because they have to cheer. But they'll mostly clap and say that was a great... they had a great match. We won. we want Kyle to vanquish his foe here, and I guess Kyle loses the match. By the way, he puts on a wacky leg hold on Cole, and he almost has Cole tap, but we've never seen a wacky leg hold before, so no, it's not going to happen. They call back to the finish of their Mania weekend match, or that Mania month, whatever the fuck it was, and that was great. This time, Kyle, I think he misses the knee that he was going for, lands in the middle of the ring, which is the softest part of the ring. You bet you think I was going to say that. But still, we had to tell the fans. Why did we tell them which part of the ring was the... Oh, God. Is everyone an idiot? That's why I named it the hardest part of the ring, by the way. Because everyone's stupid. It's mocking the stupidity. That's why the name of this show is what it is. I'm some guy, I know. I never made it either. What, you got me, all right? What the hell do I know? But Adam Cole does his finisher a second time. I think he gave Kyle one kick out of his running knee. There were two Panama Sunrises, that reverse pile driver backdrop thingy. One of them was Cole off the ring apron, was the hardest part of the ring, on the outside of the ring, which should kill Kyle for 3 months, but nevertheless, there's 3 more minutes of match. And he did another one in the middle of the ring, which is the softest part of the ring, and there was a kick out, of course. I keep thinking back for some reason to '88. Shortly after WrestleMania 4, maybe 2 months after, Demolition do their finish to Rick Martel on the outside of the ring. And they took Martel out, storyline-wise, for 9 months or whatever the hell that was. But I thought that was worth mentioning. It's not Bob, it's not 1988 anymore. I know. It's over. My whole life is over. Oh, Bob, okay. Adam Cole wins the match with his finisher, the last shot, the running knee for the second time, after the second time. And that was it. And it's almost appropriate they had WWE turnbuckles because in very WWE fashion, the heel just wins clean, and fuck you, and that was the show. And at least from the very beginning, I'm looking at the decapitated Statue of Liberty head and torch hand they have at the entrance, which I know they haven't. That's got to be new because I would have recognized that in a heartbeat. Because several of you know, especially Mark Boba Hicks, who and I'm actually picking him up right now, the Gorilla Soldier from the NECA toy people that he so kindly gifted to me. As I'm holding this gorilla in my hand, and I am right now. Why did no one kneel before the Statue of Liberty decapitated head and go, God damn you! God damn you all to hell! Someone, if no one did it backstage or the day of the taping, it breaks my heart. Because either it's too old or not iconic enough, or they thought to do it and didn't because they don't want to get in trouble, which makes it... I think that's actually worse. I prefer it just got too old and dated than someone thought to do it and didn't want to get yelled at because for 5 seconds they were goofy. Like wrestlers. You ever been in a... I mean, I've only been in indie wrestling locker rooms, but listen, they're fucking goofy, okay? There's a lot of goofiness. Whether it was ones I was familiar with or ones that I was there or only once, one and done. There's some stupidity, and you just kind of go with it. And had any... I guess that's why this isn't the indies, Bob. Really, I hope. Wish there was a way to find out. I hope somebody made a point to do the Planet of the Apes ending from the decapitated Statue of Liberty head. That would never even make the dirt sheets because it's so stupid. I put the gorilla back. He's next to Inferno, the Autobot. I don't know why. But it was a good show. I recommend watching the show. I watched the show. I had a good time. This is episode 93, the hardest part of the ring. 100 is coming up. What do we do? What do we do, Bob Squad, for the 100th episode? So I got 7 left. So I got 1, 2. So episode 96 will be the Money in the Bank. And 97, 98 is Raw NXT. And in theory, 100 would be another NXT. But I don't want to just do that. That's going to be really tricky. Because if a Raw is 99, it's really hard to get anything in between Raw and NXT. So what I may have to do is that weekend record something and just save it until right after the Raw 99, and do that and just blast you. And you could honestly, if you still want to listen to these, God help you, much appreciated. But you can just NXT is not crucial to listen to if you just overdosed on Bob that week. That might be the best way to do it. But what are we going to talk about? What's it going to be about? We'll think of something. We'll think of something special. I cried when I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet. Thank you, Bob Squad. Never give up and stay till the fight's won. Oh, I promise you, new Sun Bob coming very, very, very soon. I can't promise this Saturday morning, but man, there's a real shot of that. It's still early. Let me get to work on that right now. Remember the Alamo. Viva la Raza. And a friend in need is a pest.